Don't let them go up top.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Stay down low. When our kids were little, I used to make me nervous, man, when they were up top of it. It's a long ways down.
You'd be sweating, man.
I'm telling you.
You'd be sweating, man.
Listen, you know how when you walk in the entrance right here on the 4th floor? Isaac, my middle one, was on the other side, walking down the side of the deal there, where it just dropped straight down.
Oh, right.
He was over the gate. On the other side of it. He said, I just want to see how far it was. You can just stand right
drop.
here. You can lean over the rail. Over the rail.
Yeah.
He was over the rail. I was like, oh my gosh.
You need one daredevil.
Oh yeah, well,
absolutely,
yeah.
just to terrify.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Go ahead.
Sad. I know a few of the younger, like true freshman guys, got in for UNCC. But have you considered how you're gonna use this game at all, and maybe get some more of those guys in?
You know, we're approaching this game really like any other game. You know, now it's our first home game, so you don't have to worry about travel. So, you know, our guys that wanted to dress out for this game, they can come dress out for this game. So, you know, if they're there, and if it depends on how the game goes. Obviously, we're going to go out there with everybody and play as hard as we can play, and then whoever we need to play, we'll play, and we'll see how the game dictates the rest of it. But for the first home game, usually we have more guys dressed out anyway, no matter who you're playing. So if anyone Southern missed last week, we'd have had more guys dressed out. You don't have to worry about the travel piece of it, you know, getting guys to wherever we're going.
Teams have really stacked against the run, and you guys have made them pay.
Yeah.
Zach has made them pay along with a lot of good receiver work. At some point, it's going to flip back, but you know, a team like Gardner-Webb that's just not going to have the kinds of athletes that you normally see is going to struggle, even if they're stacking the box, probably to handle you. Would you anticipate? Yeah, we're going to run just to show everybody, and maybe including ourselves, that we can run the ball. Do you see more of a commitment to it this week, even if you see 7 in the box?
Well, I mean, I'd like to think that we have that commitment each week. I mean, I hope. You know, I mean, sometimes we get a little stubborn with it and a little bit patient with the running game, and I think it pays off. I think at the end. I think maybe end of games, end of seasons. I think if you look at your whole body of work, so certainly we want to go into this game and get established the running game. You know, whatever formations we can get into to establish that run, that's what we want to do. And if they continue to stack the box, you know, and we don't want to be hard-headed. We want to be able to take some shots and get the ball down the field. We got some great receivers out there and tight ends, so we want to get the ball to them too. So, yeah, we'll try to be stubborn with it. You know, I like to think we'll do that every week. So we'll see how it goes, and really, the game will dictate what we're able to do after that.
In terms of thinking about going forward, I mean, you've coached a lot of football at this point. You know, how long can teams continue to dare you to throw on it when you're having the kind of success you're having there?
Well, I think it probably comes down to a couple of things, but I think the first thing is, do I feel like, if you're a team, do you feel like you have good corners, good safeties to hold up in one-on-one? Some teams do. Some teams have a guy that does say, man, listen, we're covering this guy, you're not throwing to him. You know, so that's going to be week to week, game to game. We're going to try to find matchups for our guys and who can beat who and take advantage of that. Meanwhile, while we're getting that running game going. So, you know, it's a little bit of a cat and mouse game for us. So we kind of line up and see how teams are going to play us. What are they trying to do? Because it seems like everybody we play, it's a little bit different on game day than what we saw on film. And so they have a little bit of wrinkles. And so we just kind of figure it out. And hopefully we're an efficient passing team. We want to do that even though we're taking shots. Sometimes when you take a lot of shots, you know, maybe your percentage comes down. But we still want to be a high percentage team taking shots, get the ball in the hands of the playmakers, and manipulate defenses. And that's, you know, we'll continue to do that, and we'll see how they play us.
As you went back and looked at film from Charlotte, you talked about efficiency. It's hard to beat 14 for 14.
Yeah.
What was it that was making Zach so successful? I'm sure a lot of it was Zach, but I'm sure a lot of it was receivers being where they're supposed to be, the blocking held up really well. What creates the kind of scenario where a guy can have a day like that?
Well, I think, you know, it was ironic because we went into that game thinking we're going to take a lot of shots, and you end up, I think, maybe the first 18 plays, maybe threw it 3 times, something like that. So we came out and started running the football, but in our openers we had a lot of throws, and it just ended up happening that way. And then we threw some short stuff and we got rid of the football, and those guys were making plays. And then we felt, all right, here they come down, now let's take some shots down the field. Zach made some really good throws, and the receivers made some good catches. That's what it comes down to. And I think there's a couple of times where Zach took a sack. I mean, he should have thrown that away. I mean, you know, obviously you're not going to be a perfect completion percentage. So sometimes you're going to have to throw the ball away. I thought Taylor did a great job of that in his career. And so, you know, he's got to learn from that. I think those are things we'll continue to teach. But, you know, if we can stay efficient in throwing the football and get that running game going, we'll be a hard offense to stop this whole season. That's got to be the plan.
special teams has obviously been pretty good for 2 weeks. And going back and doing a little bit of homework, it's been at least 12 seasons and maybe longer since you had a punt and a kickoff, both returned in the same year, and you had it in 2 games. When you have that kind of dynamic start to open up, what does that do for the rest of the game for you?
Well, I think what it does, number one, is it inspires our guys on special teams, and I think that's where it starts. We try to make special teams important here and really work on it. We put a lot of incentives on it and really build guys up that are on that team, not just the returners because they get all the accolades and all that, but everybody else, the guys that are blocking, setting up these teams. I like to think we'll be able to get some blocks. We'll block some punts throughout the season. There's a lot of things we can do special team wise, and I feel like if you've got a really good offense and defense, what I feel like we do, that just makes you a complete team. Now teams can't rest on anything. They better become prepared to play all 3 phases when they come play the Mountaineers. That's the goal.
I know having a week off. How antsy are the players to get back?
Oh, I think they're ready to get back on the field and play somebody else. It seems like what we've been doing is practicing for 2 weeks now at this point. So they're excited about getting out and playing. They're excited about playing at home. I feel like we've been practicing since August 3rd. We're finally getting a home game. I think so. They're very excited, very anxious, ready to put on a show for our fans here.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.